Hello! Today I'm going to show you how to detect collisions between a rectangle and a point in Android. I assume that you've already watched my setup video where I explained how to get a canvas to draw on and handle touch events. If you haven't watched it yet, you should do it now. Let's start by creating an instance of rectF, which is a class for rectangles with floating point coordinates. Import it by hitting Alt-Enter. The first argument of the constructor is the x-coordinate of the left edge. The second argument is the y-coordinate of the top edge. The third argument is the x-coordinate of the right edge. And the last argument is the y-coordinate of the bottom edge. Now we need an instance of the paint class, which is like a pencil for the canvas. And we also want to change some properties of this instance. The color to color black, the style to stroke, which means that it only draws the border but no fill, and last, the stroke width. In the onDraw function, after the null check of canvas, insert an apply block, because we want to use the canvas instance again to draw our rectangle. Draw rect, and paint. Let's run our app. To demonstrate collision detection between a rectangle and a point, I'm going to use the coordinates of the touch event as a point and check if it's inside the rectangle. If the point is inside the rectangle, the background color should change to red. So first, let's create a Boolean variable called collision, set to false by default. Now, in the onDraw function, if collision is true, we draw the background red, else green. In the onTouch event function, when action is motion event action down, we can set collision to rect contains x, y, which is true if these coordinates are inside the rectangle, otherwise false. Finally, we have to call the invalidate function, which in return calls the onDraw function. Now we can run our app. When we click inside the rectangle, the background turns red. When we click outside the rectangle, the background turns green. If for some reason you don't want to use the contains function, you can write your own. Create a new Kotlin file. call it collision detection. In it, create a function called rColliding with the parameters rect of type rectf and x of type float and y of type float. It shall return a boolean true if x is greater than rect left and x is less than or equal rect right and y is greater than or equal rect top and y is less than or equal rect bottom. Now back in our custom view, we can use our own function to check for collisions. If we run our app again, it should do the same thing as before. That's all for today. Goodbye.